Hello everybody. Welcome to another FAQ Monday. I'm your host Fluff, and if you have a question, feel free to leave them down below in the comments, or if you would like to do it anonymously, feel free to hit up my ask.fm account, and maybe you will end up on a future show, and maybe not. I cannot make any promises, but either way, it'll be fun, and I will get a chance to leave really funny memes. First question, if money was no limitation on a setup, guitar, amp, and effects, what you have? I think the short answer is all of it. If money was no object, I would have everything. Guitar Center wouldn't have nothing on me. However, I will assume for this question that you mean if I'm in a successful touring act and I have to have a live rig or something like that. In that case, I would probably have a couple of PB 6534s. And like maybe a 6534 and a dual rectifier, and that's probably it. And I would, as a backup, just because, you know, I want the tube amps, but they're kind of a pain because they break down and stuff because they're tubes. As a backup, and like in my rack, I would have like a rack Kemper that I could just like unplug everything and plug into that and go straight to the house PA and not even worry about it. Depending on what I was feeling, because I know if I was like in a big touring band, it would change every night and it would be a huge pain for all of the technical people involved. So yeah, a couple of tube amps and a Kemper and a Line 6 G90 wireless unit and a couple of Les Pauls and RDs. And I think I would be set. Pretty simple. If you could only own one lens for making videos in your home studio, which one would it be? That would definitely have to be the Sigma 11 to 16 millimeter. It's a wide angle, so it's really perfect for rooms of this size. I don't have the smallest room in the world, but I also don't have the biggest. And I really like that wide angle look. And when I first got the SLRs, when I got the Canon T3i, that lens came with it, courtesy of my buddy Jason Burns. And that's all I used for a while because I just loved it so much. And coming from like a handheld camcorder, I never got to use the cool wide angles or the follow focus or anything like that. So I did that to death and it was hilarious. But if I had to pick one lens for a room this size, definitely the Sigma 11 to 16 millimeter lens. I'll put a link in the description in case you feel like purchasing. Opinion on Jim Root? I super heart Jim Root. I think he has a wonderful ear for tone, and his playing has a real particular style that I can pretty easily pick out. It's not super flashy and it's not super technical, but his playing style to me and to my ears is really in the pocket, and it really is song serving. And that's what I really think about when I think about Jim Root. It's really all about the song with him, and he can shred and he can do wild widdly licks, but he doesn't, unless the song really calls for it. And I think that's pretty evident in Stone Sour and Slipknot. And then as far as his tone, he really has an ear to what he likes. The Orange Jim Root #4 signature amp is one of my favorite Orange amps ever, and I still really need to get one of those. And everything he puts his name on is just brilliantly done. His Fender series of guitars, the Jaguar and the Strat and the Tele, oh, beautifully done. Yeah, heart me some Jim Root. I'm envious of your shelves your amp heads are on. Where did you get them? What kind are they? I do not recall the brand name off the top of my head, but I did definitely get them from Amazon. And the reason why I chose them is because they're all metal, and more importantly, they're 36 inches wide, as opposed to a lot of the same shelves of this style are 42 inches wide. That was just way too wide, you know, space is at a premium in here. And they were about $70, I believe, about 60, 70 bucks. And they're basically two halves that you put together, and they're locked to one another, so obviously the top doesn't tip over, but they've been pretty sturdy so far, and I have absolutely no qualms with them. And they come with a solid piece of wood as opposed to grating on some of the other style of shelves where the feet get stuck in, you have to go and have wood made or whatever. These came with their own boards for the shelves, and they're really cool. So anyway, link in the description for that. You're welcome. How old are you? Any advice on starting a YouTube channel? I am old. I will be 34 in November the 4th to be exact. And I know most of you guys wouldn't think of me as that old, but I always think of me as much older, or I feel much older. You crazy kids and your slang and your odd habits, I just, they make me laugh sometimes. Like, for example, and I'm not gonna go on a rant on a huge age rant, don't worry about that. I'll get to the YouTube thing in just a second. But I thought it was hilarious, and what made me feel old the other day is on Instagram, I posted a picture of my sweet leather Converse Chucks that I got while I was in California. And someone made fun of me for wearing socks with them. And I thought, why wouldn't I wear socks? Apparently it's not cool to wear socks anymore, I don't know. Anyway, I'm old, don't worry, but that's really all you need to know. As far as starting a YouTube channel, there's nothing really much to it. You just start doing it. And eventually, over time, you will get better and better at what you do, whatever it is that you do on your channel. And just know that maybe in the beginning, you won't be as good as you initially hoped to be. And that's how you can take yourself not so seriously. And you know what? Just be passionate about it, and it's all good. Video quality isn't that important. Audio quality isn't that important. But the fact that you're putting yourself out there is what makes people want to watch in the first place. Because when I started doing this, I was terrified. And if you watch like my very, very, very first FAQ video that I ever did, it's super awkward and it's horrible. And I was using camera audio and I cringe. However, I will put a link to that in the description as well. You guys should go and watch that. It's hilarious. And you know, it's all good. I look back on those times very fondly, but you know, you gotta start somewhere, so just do it, man. Where do you buy your tubes from? God. I get all of my tubes from my good friend Laura, also known as the Valve Queen, at valvequeen.com. And there are several reasons why I get tubes from her versus other places. Other places I've had pretty good experiences, but not as good as Laura. Laura actually tests them and like smacks them around a little bit. And basically, for all intents and purposes, she kind of road tests the tubes before you get them. And I still am running all the sets I've ever gotten from her. She is wonderful, and her packing job, how she packs the tubes, is the best in the industry. And she also supplies tubes to Friedman Amps and FJ Mods and Mike Fortin. You may have heard of him. And she's awesome. And she's actually a legitimate friend of mine, and I super heart Laura. And if you need tubes, you should go to valvequeen.com as well. And if you don't see anything that you want on the site, she can probably get it for you. So just shoot her an email. Tell her Fluff said hi. What is your favorite Mastodon album and why? Cheers. First of all, I've been asked a lot of questions, but this one is just sick. Does it feel good, sir? Does it feel good to be so twisted and vile? This question literally kept me up at night. But if I had to pick just one, if I had a gun to my head and I had to pick just one, I think it would be The Hunter. And there's a few reasons for that. A, I can play it in the car with my wife and daughter, and I am not asked, A, what is this about? Or B, boy, they're screaming a lot. And The Hunter has just an eclectic choice of songs, and I really love the song structure, you know, and just they're great songs, you know, Blasteroid, Curl the Burl, Stargasm, Black Tongue, Octopus Has No Friends, and so on and so forth. It's just such a brilliant album, and I love the drum tone that's going on that record. And I have all of the records on vinyl, and I listen to that one the most. I just love it. My first runner-up would be probably Blood Mountain. I super heart that album. That was huge for me when it came out. Given a little bit more time, the newest record, Once More Around the Sun, might be my favorite. I think over time it will become my favorite, but for right now it's The Hunter. At any rate, that's all the time I got, guys. If you have a question, please feel free to leave them down below in the comments or my Ask FM account thing. And as always, I'm your host, Fluff. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.